Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Sacred Darkness. And today I'm wearing the symbols of my life. The reason why I talk so much about my own life is because I cured myself from a level of depression and despair that I could not believe I could get myself out of. I believed so much that there was something inherently wrong with me. There were times when I honestly believed that the only way to get out of my situation of living this life was unaliving myself. And the most terrifying thing of finding a certain level of self assurance and self belief is just how much you have to destroy. I had to destroy the first 39 years of my life simply because they did not belong to me. They belonged to the beliefs that I was taught to believe. They belonged to the structures that had me believing that if I didn't follow them and if I didn't follow those rules, then my life was worthless. It was meaningless and I would have no identity. I had to have the courage to break everything down. And this is honestly my first year as a 45-year-old, turning 46. This is the first true year that I am living coherently, meaning that every part of me is in tandem with each other. I have nothing to hide, I have nothing to prove, and nothing can be taken away from me anymore because I built myself from the inside. I had to dig into the trenches and stay in my own hell to get to where I am now. And that's why I call this the sacred darkness, because there are things that the light and that success and that all of these nice light things out there cannot teach you. There are things that suffering teach you that are impossible to break, and they belong to you. And there's nothing that anybody can ever tell you, it doesn't matter what it is, that can break you. And I'm not saying that you're not going to have bad days. And I'm not saying that you're not going to feel depressed, feel anxious. However, you have built something inside of you where the recovery rate is significantly faster than if you didn't have it. There's a big difference between something happening to you and feeling so cornered and feeling like you're such a captive of this place that you're in that you do not believe that there's a way out. It is impossible to believe there's a way out. So the hoodie that I'm wearing is basically the symbols of my life as somebody who is an artist, although I haven't practiced art in such a long time, but it's in me. I'm a creative first. So the first symbol is the first 39 years of my life, really. And just feeling like I genuinely didn't understand where I was. I didn't understand who I was. I didn't like myself at all. I had a major problem with who I was because I believed that there would be something outside that would rescue me. But I was hidden. I was in constant pain. I think the most important thing is that I had no self-belief. Very little. Yes, I did do things and I did have a life, but that life did not have a real foundation. It's like I built this structure on sand and not on real concrete. And that's what this side of myself, the first 39 years, represented. I realized how important it was going to be to break down all the rules, all of them, all the structures, everything that made me believe that I was insignificant without something out there making me feel like I would be validated. So this part represents complete and utter radical self-love and self-acceptance. And that's when I started making very, very definite rules that no matter what happened in my life, I was always going to support myself mentally and emotionally. And that pact is so strong that I do not care who is a part of my life and who isn't. I am the biggest priority in my life. And I hope you come to that point where you become the biggest priority in your own life, such that even if the entire world is falling down around you, you are never going to abandon yourself. You're never going to betray yourself. You will always have self-respect and self-reverence. So much so that no matter what, you can constantly move yourself out of any kind of suffering, any kind of adversity. And this is the phoenix. The phoenix is an urban legend. It's that mystical bird that doesn't really exist, the one that rises from the ashes and comes out triumphant out of all the things that it has gone through. So that's how I feel. I feel these are the two biggest symbols right now that I feel represent me. Total radical self-acceptance and the rise of myself, the coming out. I had to build from scratch a completely different identity. An identity that supports me, an identity that I believe in, an identity that does not require external validity, because I have lost, let me not say I have lost everything, but all the things that, you thought that you are, the way this society is built is that you're hurried into building a particular life, right? Especially when you become an adult. There are certain markers of who you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to look like, what you're supposed to sound like, how you're supposed to present yourself as an adult. I had to break all of that down and create my own version of what an adult is. So when I come here and I'm constantly posting videos about how important it is to fully integrate and to accept yourself no matter what, that's always what I'm going to do. That is always what I'm going to preach about. I'm never going to tell you about how to be successful. I don't know what real success is anymore. And I have got no inclination to understand what it means. As far as I'm concerned, right now, if I was to be called back home, if I was to transition, if I was to pass away, if I was to die now, I would be happy. I would be happy with myself. I have no regrets. I have no regrets about the life that I've chosen to lead. Because if I had decided to just keep going in the way that I was moving, then I would never have discovered what real internal peace means. I would never have known what real happiness is. So these three symbols, they are my life. This is my life. It's what I put on my put on my heart, put on my sleeve, literally. But with time, I am going to have the sacred darkness written down here. And if anybody wants the hoodie, or if anybody wants any other kind of merch, I'd be happy to print it out and sell it to you. I don't know when I haven't thought that far about it yet, but I will be, I guess it will be something really cool to do. But I just want, I'm using myself as an example because right now I'm my only testimony. There's nobody else, it's just me. But I want us to live boldly. I want us to live with courage. I want us to understand that there are different definitions of what an adult is. It isn't just one definition. It isn't about this linear path of growth and moving forward. Sometimes growth means going right back to the beginning. Sometimes growth means destroying everything first. Sometimes growth means staying in a certain place for an extended period, really because you just want to understand who you are. Notice that the society that we live in does not give you an opportunity to understand who you are, because we are so busy. We're so busy trying to get to that goal, get to the goal of achieving, get to the goal of acquiring, get to the goal of being recognized and being validated, and having some big house somewhere that you get to sit on with a couple of cars in the backyard. And that for us is the epitome of success. And while there is absolutely nothing wrong with that version of success, there are hundreds of millions of different versions. But it is up to you as an individual to find your own definition and to live by it, and not to apologize for who you are. Do not apologize for who you are and for who you are becoming. Do not apologize for deciding that you're going to validate yourself. And this has been a particularly honest one, but I just wanted to share it, just so you understand the channel that you are watching, why I do what I do, the information that I want to convey to you. It's all going to be 100% authentic from me. From me. I'm not going to sell you a model. I'm not going to sell you a framework. I'm not going to give you a step-by-step guide to this one thing that you're supposed to be. Because the way you don't know me, I don't really know you. You're the only one who knows yourself. And I hope that in this lifetime, you give yourself the opportunity to decide, I'm going to actually start to peel away those parts of me that cover up who I really am, so that I can open them up and expose the truth of myself and live by that.